This is Hanshow new yoke steering wheel for your Tesla Model 3 Highland. If you're not familiar with the Highland, it's essentially the original Model 3 with a refreshed interior and exterior. Now with a new steering wheel, you want that yoke feeling back. Hanshow have this to offer. So all functionality works exactly the way it should with the scroll wheel function, the light up display on these switches, and the steering wheel itself is now more premium with different leather version and color option. It comes in this package, and this is the core of the actual yoke itself. It's very durable. It is equivalent, if not better, than the OEM wheel itself. You do have to swap out the OEM parts, such as the casing and the scroll wheel. The tools that you need are listed here, and the installation itself should take approximately 3 to 4 hours, but if you install it once, the time should cut in half. Make sure you go under safety under your display and power off your vehicle before any installation. Go ahead and grab 2 small flathead screwdriver. There's a hole on each side of the wheel. Push in and pull forward. This will pop open the airbag. There's 3 clips. Make sure you pull out the actual connection, the yellow connection that connects to your wheel and the airbag. Once you remove that, remove the other clip, which is burgundy. This controls your scroll wheel and also the steering wheel heater. Get a 10mm socket to remove the middle bolt. And that is essentially it. Pull the wheel out by wiggling it. Once you got the wheel out, now you be swapping out the components. So remove the V-shaped cover. Remove the screws in the back. There's 4 of them. And just take your time using between the hex screw and the 10mm socket after the center bolt has been removed. Most of these are the torque screw that you will need. So on the bottom there, behind the V shape, there's also a screw that you just saw to remove. And after you remove those, you can remove this cover. So then go ahead and remove the actual bracket. And these brackets are the ones that hold the airbag in place. You will be swapping this over to the yoke. So there's 4 screws, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. Those are also torque screw. Once you remove that airbag cover, there's also a component to remove the cover itself. And then remove the wires. There's 1 on each side. These are for your scroll wheel. Just clip down the lock mechanism and pry it out. For the right side, you want to remove the wire from the clip. And then once it's removed from the clip, go ahead and pull it out. Once you got that removed, go ahead and unscrew the 2 screws on the right and left side. This will allow you to remove the actual casing itself. So from the rear, now you're able to pull out the actual top cover, the back cover. Use a pry tool if you need to, because it can be very tight, especially in this new vehicle. So put that cover aside, and now there's 3 other screws behind the scroll wheels. These are torque screws as well. Remove all 3 on each side and just take your time. Make sure to not over torque it. You don't want to strip these screws. So the screws you will reuse. So make sure you save that and put that aside. And now remove the other side. Same manner. Once you remove those 3 screws, put those aside. You will be reusing those on the new yoke steering wheel from Hanshow. And place that in a safe location. Now there's 2 brackets on the top. You want to remove those. Also there's 2 screws. Once you remove that, place that aside next to the scroll wheel that you recently just took off. And then the bottom cover should slide right out. So now this is the core for the original steering wheel. So unplug the scroll wheel to the harness. Same thing on both sides, because you will be installing these individually, and it makes the whole process a lot easier. So now moving over to the yoke steering wheel. Once you get to the yoke steering wheel, go ahead and start by putting back the back cover. Do everything in reverse order. Put the screw back accordingly. And this is the bottom cover. And then you want to go ahead and start moving the harness around so it's not clamping against any screws that potentially could damage those wires. So make sure those are clear of where the screws will be tightened up. Now go ahead and place the scroll wheels controller on both sides. So we'll start from the right and then apply those 3 screws that you removed earlier and tighten those up with the torque wrench or torque screw. You can see there, indication in red. Make sure you tighten those up. Then moving on to the other side, same concept. Clip in the wires and then remount it to the clips itself on the right side. And then now place the top cover in the rear over, and you also will use the same screw that you took out earlier to screw these and secure these covers back into place. And again, hand tighten everything. Don't over torque it and don't use the impactor. Now moving back to the front of the wheel, go ahead and put those 2 small screws back in to hold the actual scroll wheel casing in place. And after you're done with this, you move over to the airbag attachment where the mount is located at. So you'll be screwing those back in after you get these small screws in. So there's the bracket, and align those up to the screws opening. And again, using those torque screw that was provided with the original wheel. So you'll be using everything from the manufacturer. And again, hand tighten those either with a ratchet, wrench, but don't use an impactor. Make sure there's clear indication of where the holes and the airbag mount are located, and make sure all the wires are clear, and then put the V shape back in and then screw it back from the rear. So again, righty for tighty and lefty for loosey. So now we're just tightening everything back up just in reverse order. Very easy. So again, it will take about 3 to 4 hours the first time around, but the second time around, or if you're a do-it-yourself person, it takes maybe 1 to 2 hours. Now go ahead and line up the steering wheel with the center. There's a line indication at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Once you push in, go ahead and put the 10mm bolt back in, hand tighten, then use the wrench and torque it back. You're supposed to torque it up to approximately 50 pounds, but of course hand tighten it should be fine. And then go ahead and plug in everything back into place. The burgundy plugs go in first. Check your display, check the scroll wheel to see that it functions normally before you put the airbag into place. So the camera function, everything works normal. Now plug in the airbag and you're basically done. Now the airbag just snap right in. There's 3 clips, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom at 10, 2, and 6. And now you can enjoy the yoke. So you're interested in this product, check it out. Link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Catch you all next time.